Barrett doesn't flinch.
Second down, 13. At the 45 of Baltimore. Brunell back in the pocket. Has a bit of time now being chased. Plants throws. He's looking downfield. He's got a receiver. And it is caught. Jimmy Smith at the 5. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Wayne Starks for 45 yards.
Barks out for signals. Drops to throw. Has time. Fires the slant. Jimmy's got it this time. 35, 30. Middle of the field. 20. He's going to the 20-yard line. He's going to score. 10, 5. Jimmy Smith. Touchdown. And the Jaguars are right back in this ball game. Barks out the signals. Pressure coming. Steps up. Steps. Turns. Throws. He's got Jimmy. First down 20. There he goes. 10, 5. Touchdown. Win. Jacksonville. Done under pressure. Steps to avoid. Turns and throws. He's got him in. Caught Jimmy inside the 40-yard line to the 37 and down to the 36.
Congratulations to Jimmy Smith. That is now his 800th career reception, and what a play to get it on.
This team winning right now, it helps bring so much attention to our franchise, what we did back in the day, like we were talking about, these Hall of Fame conversations. But when we're winning, we see the conversations pick up. So we have noticed that. So obviously, I'm pulling for my team to get to this Super Bowl.
1010XL 92.5 FM presents Jaguars Today with your hosts Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, David Garrard, and Dylan Denmark.
Well, Dempsey not with us today. He's decided the players get 4 days off. He's taken 2, right? He's taken today and tomorrow. Here's the Jags will be coming out of the bye week. Tony Smith, David Garrard, Dylan Denmark here with you. How'd you spend the bye week, Dave?
Well, just like I spend most weeks, it's always about the kids. Mm-hmm. So my son had a game this last Friday, and they played First Coast, and they beat them. It was a great win. They had to come back on the last 2 drives of the game. So that started the weekend off, and that was pretty fun. And then just watching a bunch of football all weekend.
Did Baldwin get the win this weekend? I know it was kind of a playoff game of sorts.
Yeah, 41-9. We got the dub.
Nice.
So, good offense, good defense. Jackson came out first drive, ran right down the throat. We're like, oh, boy. And we adjusted, and we were good. So
now we all wait till Wednesday? Is
Tuesday.
that when the new ranking?
Tomorrow.
Tuesday?
So I'll be refreshing the rankings every 13 seconds here.
Yeah. Bowles has one more. They got 56-6. No problems with the alma mater.
Nice.
On Friday against Wolfson. I wasn't expecting much of a fight coming the other way in that one, but 56-6 this week to close out the regular season. They'll be over in Lake City taking on Columbia. That's a real good one. Okay. Probably the matchup in the area this coming Friday night, if you call Lake City the area.
We'll be there.
Yeah.
Our girls have a softball tournament there this weekend.
Oh, there you go.
So
we'll stop on
see
by.
you there.
Yeah.
I think we'll be trick-or-treating at that time.
I'll be in the visitor booth if you want to come say hey.
Okay.
We're not going to have any candy, so come that way if that's what you're looking for.
That's going to be a tough call for us to be there
then. No doubt about it. Look, we heard Jimmy during the open there, and I've been thinking about what we heard from Jimmy all weekend, right? He joined us on Friday here on the show as you were discussing with me as we were getting ready. Like, you heard the interview on Friday too, and Jimmy was fired up.
Yeah.
Right? He was asked about what you can do about kind of the attitude with the guys and the things they're dealing with, right? He's like, bench them. That was kind of his solution of what was going on. He's so frustrated with the little things that they're not doing right. Like, you can watch him on X. He's just like, they don't line up right. Right? Like, their stance is wrong.
The basic things.
Right. And him talking about the first couple of offensive coordinators he had in the league, and that thing that keeps ringing in my head was if you see the quarterback throw the ball, you're late, right? And it does feel like Brian is certainly in a place right now where it feels like he's not comfortable unless he sees it coming out of his hand. And I don't know how to explain that except he's late on a bunch of these things. And then we go into the weekend and these stories pop up with the Jags are at least listening to calls in regards to Brian Thomas Jr. as we're now 8 days away from the trade deadline in the NFL, and my gut reaction when I saw it wasn't no. My gut reaction was, huh. And it does feel like we've gotten what we've gotten from Brian through the first 7 games, that he has taken the no away from me and given me the huh when I hear something about him potentially being traded. Did you have the same kind of reaction when you heard that kind of news?
Yeah, it was weird because I was just scrolling through Instagram and I saw him in different colored jerseys, and I was like, who is this? That looks like our guy. wait, let me look at the comments and see what's happening here. Okay, they're listening to some calls, I guess, if you will. And so I just thought, well, that doesn't seem right. Well, he didn't come in with this coaching staff. Mm-hmm. He has not really had a game this year where you're like, okay, it's all gone. We kind of had a game where we were like, okay, maybe it's all gone, but then it showed up again the very next week.
Yeah.
So it's really tough to say. Well, I can tell you, I'm not ready to give up on him, but I can understand why they're listening to calls. Because if we didn't bring you in, like this coaching staff, this GM, then I understand, because I've seen the league. I know how it works. They will find somebody else, or they will get something for you so that they can bring in their own guys. Because if they're going to lose their jobs, they're going to lose their jobs with guys they chose, guys that they feel like, all right, I'm tied to you. They don't feel like that way with BTJ, only because for whatever reason he is not catching the ball cleanly this year and has had a few moments of, I don't really want to go across the middle. Like, I don't understand it. I've never gone through a receiver or had a receiver that just started off this season the way he has, with the abilities that he has, with the way he played last year. Like, I don't know how we're getting this version of him. So it's really mind-blowing, because you just know it. You just know as soon as you trade him to somebody else, Buffalo or somebody, he ain't going to be dropping the ball. He's going to be running through the middle, getting blown up. And and making all these plays. So I'm still on I'm not on the side of letting him go at this time.
Yeah, that's not the last we're going to speak on that kind of thing today, especially given the question of the day that we're asking you, brought to you by the Chad and Sandy Real Estate Group. Who have been the 5 best players for the Jags through the first 7 weeks of the season? We asked everyone to list them in order from 1 to 5 with their responses as well, so we have kind of a rank order of how people feel about where different players are on the Jaguars roster right now. The Brian Thomas Jr. discussion is at the level of disappointing that it is, because most, not everybody, but most people had him at number 1 on these kind of lists on the entire roster going into the season. And now we're dealing with where he is at this point in year number 2 of his professional career. So we'll continue to discuss what's going on with Brian Thomas Jr. We'll get to some of our answers to the question of the day today as we go throughout the show as well. We'll give some grades on some of these guys. As you said when you came in this morning, it's like I found it kind of hard to find, the 5, for this list this morning. So we'll talk about the difficulties of putting those 5 on there and the grades for some of the players that we all assumed were going to be on this kind of list at this point in the season, but maybe aren't right now for the football team, as well as the head coaching and the different things that they've done, the changes they've made in the organization for this year. We know it's game week, so Coach Cohen is speaking, I think, at the end of the 10 o'clock hour this morning.
10:55.
Yeah, so hopefully we may be able to get you a couple of comments from him to kick off the week as well before we get out of here on the show here this morning. But we'll get into it. 641-1010 if you want to join the show, answer the question of the day, or just express your frustrations with where they're at right now after the back-to-back losses going into the bye week. We'll get it kick-started. Thanks so much for listening to us this morning. Mike Dempsey on assignment, Tony Smith, David Garrard, Dylan Denmark here with you. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
Jaguars
Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. Playmakers make special plays.
That right there, that's special.
Special plays make the special teams player of the game.
Winning football players who can step up in a clutch moment.
After the game, pump up the Superior Plumbing Special Teams player of the game on 1010XL.
My dad, Randy Marion, has been in business for 35 years.
35 years of taking great care of your customers.
And our community. It has also been 35 years that my dad has been the king of price.
Yep.
So now's the time to fall into savings and drive in style in a brand new Cadillac.
At Randy Marion Cadillac, drive the all-new electric Optique, Lyric, and Vistique. They're all in stock and ready to drive today.
Come see us today at Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard in Jacksonville.
And don't forget,
tell them Jennifer sent ya.
Plus tax tag title $9.99 admin fee and resistol on approved credit.
It's a Dream Finders Homes Monday.
Official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentists and staff. And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental with light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, located in Bartram Park.
Yo, E.T. here, and Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes through in the clutch every day, from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar, Twin Peaks. Scratch kitchen scores every time. Dig in the hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge. Come on, somebody.
I'm Max Fink, and I'll bring you the Gator Report several times weekly to keep you connected to Gainesville.
The Gator Report, put together by San Jose Collision on the home of the Florida Gators, 1010XL.
Go, Gators! I'm Amber Frangie. Can you believe I've lost 70 pounds in less than 4 months? With Awaken 180, there's no medication, no shots, and no side effects. Call them at 844-346-1800. That's Awaken 180.
Hey, it's Rick Ballou. I just upgraded my home with fantastic floors, and the experience was incredible. Rusty and the team brought the showroom to me with their at-home consultation. The whole process was simple, the installation was top-notch, and the results, absolutely fantastic. Take it from me. Don't wait. Visit fanfloors.com and schedule your at-home consultation today. Fantastic Floors, where every step is fantastic.
This is Dylan Denmark with 1010XL, and Kuhn Flowers will do your holiday tree decorating, including all of your lights. Wow! So call on Kuhn Flowers today. They'll do it all this fall.
What is the busiest airport in the world?
Southern Oak Insurance is proud to continue offering coverage statewide. Financial stability makes Southern Oak Insurance a wise choice for your homeowner's insurance needs. Log on to southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
Hartsfield Jackson Atlanta International Airport is the busiest airport in the world, serving over 100 million passengers.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwood. Underwood has completed 75 years in business, and now you are starting your next 75 years. If you were going to simplify things, what is the single most important thing in Underwood's history, and what will be the most important thing in your future?
Frank, that's simple. Our honesty and integrity. You know, our founder, H.F. Underwood's favorite saying was, know the truth and tell the truth. That's why we're the longest-standing member of the American Gem Society in Florida. Because we know you have to have the knowledge about gemstones before you can tell the truth about them. That's why we continue to educate our staff through the Gemological Institute of America and the American Gem Society. In fact, today, Underwood's has the largest American Gem Society credentialed staff of professionals east of the Mississippi River. So come by and see why we're looking forward to the next 75 years and let one of our experts assist you.
That's at Underwood's, serving excellence since 1928. In San Marco, Avondale, the Shops of Ponte Vedra, Underwood Jewelers.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
David Garrard Monday is restored by
Resto Pros of Northeast Florida on 1010XL.
Tony Smith, David Garrard, Dylan Denmark here with you. And let's stay on the Brian Thomas Jr. thing because that's where we started here this morning, Dave. And look, my gut tells me he's not getting moved. It's not that I expect him to get traded because of, you kind of touched on a lot of the reasons why. He is still a young, talented player. He is a player that you got to figure out how to get him back. He's way too good a football player for them to go through a whole season where it's like this.
Yeah.
You just can't have that kind of thing going on with him. I think the whole thing feels like to me that I wouldn't be surprised if it's his representation putting this noise out there. right? For whatever myriad of reasons, they may be a little bit unhappy, and I don't know that, right? Like, I don't want to state that as if I've heard. It's like, this is my gut reaction to seeing this kind of thing going on. I watched a lot of other NFL teams this weekend, obviously, with the bye week. So I had Red Zone on for the full 6-7 hours.
Yeah.
The 1 and 4 o'clock windows. And I noticed, especially a couple of times from Joe Flacco throwing the ball to Jamar Chase over the middle of the field, and he got crushed, right? Like on plays where it's just that it's 3rd and 7. This is where the ball is going to go.
Got to go get it.
He's our guy.
Yeah.
We're giving him a chance to go be the guy in the moment, and he gets crushed, but he holds on to the ball. Right? And I'm watching it, and I'm thinking through the conversations that we've all had to this point this season with fans going like, well, he's throwing hospital balls. Shut up. Right? Like, that was my reaction to it the first time I heard it. It's still my reaction to it now. You played in the league. You played with a guy like Jimmy Smith. Did Jimmy ever come up to you and say, you can't throw me that ball in that spot?
No. Jimmy was like, I'm open, and just throw the ball over there. I'm going to go get it. It will be a successful, if not just an incomplete pass, if you're throwing it my way. And you're right. With those type of receivers, you want to make sure those guys are just being fed the ball. And going back to your talk about his representation, mad at what? Mad at what? They need to be mad at their own guy because they're throwing the ball to him, and then he's the one not making the plays. So they can't be mad at the organization for holding him out or not getting him the ball enough. Maybe they could do that, but still, he's got to make the plays that are there in front of him. And there are certain receivers that you don't throw in the middle of the field because they're small, they're little. Like, you're not trying to get those guys killed. But even then, they still, when it's 3rd down or we need a play to be made here, if I put the ball out there for you, I'm doing my best to try to keep you out of harm's way, but we are playing football. You are probably going to get hit. Go make the play. And then you can go take a play or two off if you need it. But to say that, he's upset or whatever reason, it's not on him. He should be looking himself squarely in the mirror and saying, what do I have to do to get myself back to where I was? Because he is not a player that you want to let go.
No.
That is not – he's so young, and we've seen his ability. So if he is just in a funk, let's work it out. Best time to work out a funk is you got a bye week. You got time to work on some things. You got time to go back to the basics. And I know a lot of coaches – will do that, especially when you go into the bye week in a little bit of a slide. They'll say, all right, we're going to go back to the basics here. We're going to get out to practice, and we're going to do a lot of the things that you do day one of football.
Yeah.
So we can get back on track and get everybody back to doing at least the standard basic things.
Do you think if it's not coming from his representation and it is just noise, right? It's just teams putting out there that they're reaching out, perhaps to the Jags about the availability of Brian Thomas Jr. and, the reaction from the Jags is whatever it is. And, it could be, they pick up the phone and say, hey, we were calling to see if Brian, they just,
yeah,
like that could be the reaction you get, from the organization. We don't know. We're not in the rooms hearing the phone calls on these kind of things. So it's all guess as to how any of this kind of stuff works. Do you think if you're a player going into the trade deadline, especially a player with the kind of weight of expectation that Brian Thomas Jr. had going into the season, right? Talking about him being the best player on the roster, coming off the kind of rookie season he had. We're all talking about, I get it, he and Malik Neighbors were right there, neck and neck, right, as rookie wide receivers last year. That's the conversation we had. We were having talks about how high in the number one wide receivers in the league do we think Brian will be when we get to the end of this season, right? Like, all these things are part of the equation, whether it's his representation or just teams calling and whoever hears about it and puts it out there, and we don't know how the team reacts to it. Do you think that is an effective wake-up call for a player with wherever that noise is coming from as we're going into a trade deadline? Like, you felt like an untouchable player going into the season, a building block. We're going to run the offense through this guy. The first 7 games have gone the way that they have gone, but do you think it could be a potential wake-up call for him?
You know, when you were saying it, I was actually thinking it could be the team just letting some of that stuff out so that it is a little bit of a wake-up call. It is a little bit of a kick in the butt saying, oh, shoot, you know what? I can make myself touchable when I wasn't untouchable with this kind of talk. Mm-hmm. So I've got to get this thing fixed. And honestly, I believe players want to get it fixed, period, just because he knows where he was before. He knows what he can be. He knows what he was trending to. And he knows what he's doing now isn't even close to any of that. And guys don't want to get dealt. They want to be the man on the team. They want to get the big paychecks. They want to do all those things and be great for that team. So I think it's an opportunity. I'm not sure if the team put it out there just so they could, kind of get some things stirring a little bit, but stir it in a way to where they can direct their player to get his butt moving, get out of this slump, the slump, whatever you want to call it, get out of it so that we can have the BTJ that we all know, that we all saw last year, finishing out this season.
Yeah, the drops can't have it.
No, not at all. It can't. The drops are, and it's the easy drops that really bother you. If you're making these big time plays and you have a drop here and there, okay, we can all. But it's the ones that are just a hitch route or a stop route. A DB is close, but he doesn't even make a play on the ball, and you still drop it. I mean, those are the things that we can't have. Can't have those because you're not even making the huge big plays too, so you can't have no plays being made and then also we're dropping these easy passes that are coming to us.
Well, and he's created an environment where he needs to figure out how to block out all the noise. I think because even if you catch the next 30 perfectly, you drop the one after that and everyone's going to be right back on you. Right. And every now and then players are going to have a moment like that. Mm-hmm. A drop is not an impossible thing to happen, but it's been such a common occurrence for him to this point this season. It depends on where you look. It's like 5, 7, 9, whatever the number is, right, for Brian Thomas Jr. to this point this season. But I do think you're living in a new social media world where you have to figure out some way to block out that noise. And it's harder than it's ever been to keep that noise out of your head. For these players.
It is. Social media was just kind of starting right towards the end of my career, so it was easier to kind of stay out of it because you didn't really know, I didn't even know exactly what was going on.
Where now?
Yeah, like I didn't, everybody saw what I tweeted? Wow, okay, let me not do that anymore. So, but now, I mean, these kids have grown up with it. It's all they've known, and it is much harder to, kind of keep your nose out of the newspaper and that kind of stuff, because you could just turn the TV off before, or you could not read the newspaper and you were good. Mm-hmm. But nowadays, your phone is literally telling you and reminding you all the time. So, but you've grown up with it. It's been a part of your life the whole time. So it's not new form. They're all adjusted to it. It's going to come down to him. It's up to him and his ability and what he's been working on in this bye week to get himself back to being the BTJ that we know.
Did you ever have a moment in any of the locker rooms that you were in that you were working diligently to block out whatever noise there was, right? Like you were trying to keep all that out, and then a teammate that may not be aware of how dedicated you were to hearing nothing, like you walk in the room and they're like, hey, Dave, why they say it? And then you're just like, no. Yeah. Like, I don't want access to any of that right now. Like, how difficult is it, even when it's you putting in the work to keep the noise out?
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's not just your teammates, it's family, it's friends. I remember the last season I was in with the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I had been doing great. Didn't know there was much conversation other than, we just got to win a few more games and then, we have a playoff possibility. But when we started to not, and it started looking like we weren't going to get to that position, a friend might text you and say, hey, don't listen to the radio right now because it's whatever you're doing, just don't turn it on. It's not worth it. And in your mind, you're thinking, well, I wasn't trying to turn the radio on anyway. And I was sitting here feeling pretty good about things, but apparently the city is not feeling the same way I'm feeling. And I had no clue because you get up, you go to work, you leave work, you go home, you go to sleep, so it's not like you back when I was playing, you had to really try to look at things. You had to try to listen to people talking about you. You had to really work on trying to get that access to, kind of mess up your mind. But for me, I was doing fine. And then just got a little text saying, hey, don't turn the radio on right now, whatever you're doing. They're not talking the best about you. So it is what it is.
Did you have teammates that were going through something like that you could see it on social media because you just happen to have seen it, right? Like it's not something that's hitting you personally, but you've seen teammates that they're dealing with whatever the criticism is going to be. You're not sure exactly where they're at with dealing with any of that. And so are you walking through the locker room saying, do I say anything? Like, how do you deal with the other guy, right, who may be dealing with there's a lot of noise out there about X right now, and it's like you go into the locker room, it's like, do I say anything to X about what's going on?
Well, there's always somebody, you know the guys that are struggling. You know the guys that are being talked about without even ever having to see anything because we're all humans too in the locker room on the practice field. So when we see the same guy not making the plays or messing this up or standing out for the wrong reasons, you know what's going on. It's not like you have to tune in to social media to figure out if they're saying something negative about it. So you know what's going on. And yes, as a teammate, you talk to people, you keep their confidence up, you do all those kind of things to make sure, because you don't want somebody on your team that's down in the dumps and he can't perform for the team.
Yeah.
So it's a lot less about himself and just him still being ready to help support the team and be there for the team.
Yeah.
So that's what it really comes down to.
He's carrying enough. I don't need to add.
Yeah, he really doesn't. Unless they come up to you and have a little conversation with you or something like that, then normally you don't go up to them and bring up more bad stuff. You're just trying to help kind of coax them through the situation that they're in. Whatever it is, it might not be that. It might just be going to get lunch or something. It might be, hey, let's just stay after and do something a little bit. Now, if you're a different position and I can't help you with that, then I might just have a little bit more of a conversation with you being one of the leaders on the team, but just really to kind of see where you are personally to make sure everything is good and to make sure you're still fighting to be one of the best players, on the field.
We still have our top fives as far as the players that have played the best for the Jags through the first 7 weeks of the season that we'll get into. We'll get into some of your list on that as well. Phone lines will jump out there for the first time when we return. If you want to jump in on Brian Thomas Jr. or whatever else is going on with Jaguars football, feel free at 641-1010. Tony Smith, David Garrard, Dylan Denmark here with you. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
Jaguars Today. You're at the home of the Jaguars in the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Superior products, exceptional service.
The holidays are here, full of joy, family, friends, and yes, a little hustle and bustle. That's why you need Aleve. Between cooking, shopping, and all those extra errands, aches and pains can sneak in. Aleve is here to help with long-lasting body pain relief. Don't let body pain slow you down. With up to 12 hours of body pain relief per dose, you can keep up with the season's magic and all that awaits. Pick up Aleve and get back to what really matters, making memories. Use as directed.
Jaguars Today.
It's a Dream Finders Homes Monday.
This is your escape. This is your next adventure. This is Mazda, and this is Mazda at the Avenues. Lauren Brooks here. Right now, purchase any new Mazda model and Mazda at the Avenues will match your down payment or your payments for 1 full year. Plus, every new Mazda comes with 3 years, 36,000 miles of maintenance at no additional charge to you. This is luxury, and this is the start of something new. This is Mazda at the Avenues. For complete details, call 904-430-8047.
Business owners, are you tired of getting the runaround from your plumbing or AC vendors? Fire them now and call Duck Duck Rooter. Duck Duck Rooter is the trusted partner for some of the largest commercial companies in Northeast Florida. From a professional accounting office that makes contracts and invoicing seamless to highly skilled field technicians who fix the problems fast, they handle it all. Make the smart move today with Duck Duck Rooter. Call 904-862-6769. 904-862-6769. Duck Duck Rooter, a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
If your ride is making strange noises, don't wait and make it worse. Come to Action Transmission on Merrill Road. My expert technicians can diagnose the problem and likely fix it fast. Experience the difference at Action Transmission on Merrill Road.
Hey, I'm Tony from Tony D's Pizza. People ask me all day long, is it the water that makes the difference? Well, yes and no. Even water can't make a good pizza. It's the ingredients, too. The best tomatoes, the best flour, and the best cheese. Oh, and a lot of love. Tony D's New York Pizza, Bay Meadows and 295.
Hey, Hicken here. I know it's too early to talk about the holiday season coming up, but my friends at Beards Diamonds are stocking up like never before. No need to rush it now, but when you are ready, Beards will be ready. This is Jacksonville's local diamond powerhouse. Unlike the other stores in the town center, Beards is not a Wall Street-owned jeweler. They're family-owned. Say hi to the Lupos when you go by great folks here in Jacksonville. They run circles around those conglomerate stores that claim to have direct pricing. Beards beats them every day. And if you're wondering about lab-grown diamonds, Beards can teach you. They have natural and lab-grown. And don't forget, Beards has case after case of fashion jewelry. Rings, earrings, bands, bracelets, colored gemstones, pearls, yellow gold. Bottom line, you don't need to shop anywhere else. Beards is local. They got a massive selection. They stand behind what they sell. They take care of local customers. 100% accountable because they live here. Check them out and you will see Beards Diamonds rocks at the St. John's Town Center.
This is Jeff Middlecoff with Cogent Bank. My associate Ryan Salem and I joined Cogent Bank because we wanted to revolutionize the mortgage business, just like Cogent Bank has revolutionized the banking business. So Ryan Salem and I are able to leverage the power and stability of Cogent Bank to go out and find our clients the best investors, the best products, and the best rates in the entire country for your particular mortgage loan. Of course, you don't have to be a customer at Cogent Bank to take advantage of our mortgage services to buy or refinance your home. We offer jumbo loans, VA, FHA, conventional, and investment loans. At Cogent Bank, we offer mortgages nationwide, so we can help you with a second home or help a family member who lives or is moving to another state. Call Ryan Salem or myself, Jeff Middlecoff, at Cogent Bank today, 904-442-9191, to see how we can help you with any of your mortgage loan needs, whatever or wherever they may be.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, Cogent Bank, NMLS ID 402296. Ryan Salem, NMLS ID 1182429. Jeff Middlecoff, NMLS ID 249086.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. David Garrard Monday on 1010XL is restored by Resto Pros of Northeast Florida.
David Garrard is here with us, as he is each Monday during the football season. And it's not over. We got 10 more games in the regular season.
It's not over.
Yeah. We got quite a ways to go. We're not even halfway through this thing here in the 2025 campaign. But obviously the results of the last 2 weeks, especially the way the Rams game went down, has a lot of people very, very low on this Jacksonville Jaguars team at this point. They got an opportunity this week against the Raiders to get a lot of that noise out of the system, right? You just got to beat the Raiders, and a lot of that goes away. I didn't love how good Houston looked yesterday. Thanks a lot, San Francisco.
I know. Thanks a lot, San Fran.
Like it felt like we were all very confident. I think San Fran's going to go in there and show them something. And it's like, oh no, they kind of just look like Houston again. This is not good.
But then San Fran was trying to make a little run. I was like, okay, here it goes. Now they're going to, kind of flip the switch here. And they just never did.
Yeah.
They just never did.
Well, and there's, as you know, having played in it, 1 week doesn't tell you anything in the NFL.
Nope.
Right? Like one performance doesn't tell you anything about a football team in the NFL. There is something for momentum, especially late in the year. I think that's a real thing in the National Football League because confidence going into the playoffs, there's no replacement for that, right? Like, and having made the playoffs isn't necessarily confidence. You know, we've seen that. We had a caller last week that was asking about, has there ever been a team that started the season real hot and then fell off at the end? It just doesn't work that way. It's like Philadelphia 2 years ago.
Yeah, that happens all the time.
I'm like, this is not hard to find.
Yeah.
Where they were the best team maybe in the NFC after having gone to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
And they lost, the last 6 games or something like that?
They were like 10-1 or something like that at one point and then just fell off a cliff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens often.
Yeah. So, no, it's not all that uncommon for a team to start as hot as the Jags appeared to have started and cool off at some point in the season. It's where are you at coming out of Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Right? Is really where you start to measure how good or bad your football team is going to be. Well, they got some time, obviously, before we get to that. And it starts with the Raiders team that there are no excuses on this one. You got to beat the Raiders.
Man, oh, man. If we come back not with a win against the Raiders, it is going to be the same old Jaguar feeling around this city.
Yeah. If you thought it was noisy the last 2 weeks.
Oh, my gosh, yes. Then they can start looking to shop everybody if that's the case.
Yeah, be a busy phone call Monday.
Yes.
Right, if that's the case. Speaking of phone calls, let's get out to the
Let's
phone
do it.
lines for the first time here this morning. We'll start with Andrew out in Mandarin. Wanted to give us a call about what's going on with Brian Thomas Jr., who we talked about a lot there in the first half hour of the program today. Andrew, what's going on, bud?
How's it going?
Pretty good.
So basically, I just had 2 things to say. Just commenting on like what you were talking about earlier with the hospital balls and stuff. I mean, I feel like it's just inexcusable because, I mean, back in the day, you had guys like Jeremy, Michael Irvin were catching slants and getting whacked. And, I mean, the tight ends have to deal with it, I feel like, every play across the middle. And then I was also going to say, if you, like, I'm just asking, if you were in Gladstone's shoes right now, do you trade for a receiver to maybe come in, not like just take away all of Brian Thomas, but just to push him? Because, I mean, at some point we need production. Like, we can't just keep going into these games, giving Brian Thomas 10 targets a game and him only catching, like, 3 of them with his body or double catching them. I mean, I just feel like, you know, you bring in a guy maybe, like, I keep saying Jacoby Myers, and I think, you know, Edgar Bennett has ties to him, too, from Vegas and stuff. But, I mean, do you bring in a guy to kind of be a little more reliable, give you production, and maybe push Brian Thomas a little bit? Just want to hear what you guys have to say about that.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Andrew. Jacoby Myers is a name that we're hearing a lot. Well, he's put his own name out there starting in August.
Okay.
And he was asked about it again last week because he said he'd like to be traded, but he's like, I'm going to play. Like, I'm not upset about being here in Vegas. I'm going to play. But he hadn't been great the last month, basically, for the Raiders, and he's hurt right now. So he's been a little bit limited here for the last couple of weeks, but he is reportedly still available, at least of his own word. I don't know how the Raiders feel about any of it, right, with that kind of thing. I don't know how much you get as far as pushing Brian Thomas Jr., if that's what you're trying to do by trading for a player like Jacoby Myers.
Yeah, I don't know what you get. I don't know how much it would push, but I do like Jacoby Myers as a receiver. I think he could add a lot of stuff to this wide receiver room. I just need BTJ to get back right. That's what I need. Because Myers would be a nice addition if you could make it happen, do whatever to make it happen, as long as you're not giving up any pieces that you really care about. But I want BTJ. I know what he has. Yeah. I know what Myers can do, and that's nice. But he's not BTJ. And if they could make that, and that would work, and if everybody knew that if we bring him in, it's going to push BTJ to get back to his ability, then great. But if you don't, I still don't think it's bad. I just don't know. I just want my guy to get back right. Yeah. That's what I want. And I'm really hoping this bye week he has used it to even just get away from everything so that he can come back hungry as a dog, ready to go across the middle, ready to make every 50-50 ball, ready to just catch and run. Like, come back and be the guy that we know you can be.
How much does your perception of Brian Thomas Jr. change if, and I think we're approaching this kind of point in this season with the way things are going, but they don't necessarily have to be there yet. But if you make a decision as a franchise, right, that, all right, he doesn't want to go over the middle, right? Like, he's going to be one of those guys that's just like, we're not going to put him in those kind of situations. How does that change your confidence level in the star power of Brian Thomas Jr. if he's a guy who can't, or what they won't, run the routes over the middle of the field with?
Well, then you're not a number one then, because we need our number one to do everything. Go across the middle, take the top off, catch a shallow cross, take it to the house. Like, we need our number one to be the dog out there on the field, that no matter where you are, I can just throw it in your vicinity and you'll go make a play for me. That's what we need. And he has that. He has the body type, the speed, the ability, the athleticism. Like, he's got all those things. He just has to get back to catching the ball. Like, that's your job, is to catch the ball. So whatever he's been doing these last basically 10 days or whatever, I hope a lot of it is getting his mind right to come back and be the guy that we know he can be. The one that can go across the middle, the one that can go jump over receivers, moss guys, do everything possible to get that ball and get it in the end zone.
Yeah. It's not like he hadn't been featured.
Yeah, I know. They're trying to get the ball to him.
They've never gone away from throwing him the football. It's just he hasn't been taking advantage of the opportunities.
He hasn't. And I would not go away from him. I would not show that we're trying to give other people the opportunity. Now, we still want to target Travis Hunter as well, because he can turn things into he can really be the kind of player that you want opposite of a guy. Like, really, because he can catch the ball, and he tries to catch the ball and make people miss every time. He doesn't just, let me get 2 yards. Like, I'm trying to go get in the end zone every time the ball is in my hands. That's the kind of dogs you want out there in the field, and we need to get BTJ back to that.
Want to talk about Travis Hunter specifically, right? And where we think his last 10 games, where do we think he can help the team the most? Where do we think he'll be featured the most as they come out of the bye week as well? Because it is an opportunity to expand it for him, with an extra week to think about what they've seen from him here during the bye week. You can't do anything on the field until today, but it is an opportunity to expand some of the stuff that you could do with Travis Hunter. So we'll talk about that as we get into the back half of the first hour of the program here as well. Continue to talk wide receivers. We'll have the phone lines open for you still as well at 641-1010. Tony Smith, David Garrard, Dylan Denmark here with you. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
Jaguars Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL.
You name it. Hey everybody, Mike Dempsey here for big number one Duval Ford, the only dealership between Orlando and Atlanta with a Ford Pro Elite service department. That's right, but you don't have to be a fleet manager to take advantage of the great service that Duval Ford provides. Ford Mobile Service will come to you at home or at work, available for oil changes, filters, battery replacement, you name it, no extra fees, same dealership quality delivered. And oh, by the way, what quality they have. Check them out over at Casson Avenue or online at DuvalFord.com. That's big number one, Duval Ford.
Believe in the unbelievable.
Unbelievable!
1010XL.
I can't believe it! I can't believe it!
We're hearing is believing.
Unbelievable!
Tired of roofers who never answer the phone and just use AI?
I'm Morgan Conley, the People's Roofer. I answer every call. No robots, no runaround. I'm born here, built here, staying here. Visit MorganConleyRoofing.org.
Dreamfinders Homes, Monday.
On Jaguars Today.
Have you or someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI and all criminal offenses. I've been named the best DUI attorney in the state, and David has been named the best criminal defense lawyer in Jacksonville. In your battle with the justice system, there is only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645.
Graceful like a heel.
You have two women?
Strong-minded like a helmet.
Good.
Tom McManus straps on the helmet and joins Lauren Brooks and Taylor Dahl.
Helmets and heels.
Afternoons 2 to 4. Served by Green Law Group on 1010XL.
October's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and Ackerman Cancer Center offers women's health, diagnostic, and screening services, including contract-enhanced mammography and total body MRI. Early detection is the key. Visit AckermanCancerCenter.com.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys locksmith service.
Hey, Hicken here. Cooler weather right around the corner, but you can extend your swim season with Surfside Pools. This month, Surfside Pools offering 10% off new pool heaters or heater replacements and installation. Keep the good times rolling. No matter the season, upgrade your pool heating system now for months of extra enjoyment. Only from Surfside Pools, the trusted name for expert pool service. Family owned and operated. Call 246-2666 or visit surfsidepools.net.
License number CPC 044080.
I know you love sports, so why not take that passion and make a difference in your community as a volunteer coach with the YMCA? Whether it's soccer, basketball, volleyball, or flag football, the Y is always looking for positive role models to help kids grow in both skills and character. Even if you've got no coaching experience, that's fine. We'll provide the training. Step up, give back, and be the coach that makes a difference. To volunteer, visit your local Y or fcymca.org.
Bueller, stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, pal, you look troubled. Is something bugging you?
This friendship isn't all upside for me, Jason. People keep asking me stuff about you.
They ask you about me?
Is it really cooler with Bueller, they ask. So I say, totally. And they say, how do you mean that? And I say, he fixes air conditioners, which literally makes somebody cool. But he also has cool sunglasses and cool people and a cool family.
And I try to make working at Bueller Air and Plumbing a really cool experience for our technicians and plumbers. We treat our people like gold, and they treat our homeowners the exact same way.
Great. Well, now there's another cool thing I've got to remember. This is a lot of responsibility, Jason.
Life can get hectic sometimes. If you don't take a moment to slow down and appreciate all the cool parts, you could miss it.
Do people ask you about me at all?
Weirdly, they do.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Jaguars Today on 1010XL with David Garrard is restored by Resto Pros of Northeast Florida.
Well, I can't speak for the rest of the world, but this is my favorite Eagles track.
Oh, okay.
For me personally. Tony Smith, Dylan Denmark, David Garrard here with you on Jaguars Today. Dempsey on assignment today and tomorrow. He'll be back with us on Wednesday. Like I said, team gets 4 days off. He's taking 2. Like he's only taking half the time that the players get. We'll hopefully hear from Coach Cohen before we get out of here this morning as well. He's scheduled to speak with the media here in the next 5 minutes or so as they come out of the bye week and get ready for game week against the Las Vegas Raiders. We mentioned going into the break a moment ago, Dave, the Hunter talk, right? And exactly what we expected to look like for him coming out of the bye here. As you were talking about Brian Thomas Jr. a moment ago and, you know, the number one attributes that he appears to have. But if you're going to be that guy, you got to be able to make the plays over the middle of the field. That's what a one has to do. Do you look at Travis Hunter and see number one wide receiver attributes?
I can see him being a number one. Yeah, absolutely. But not if he's playing DB at the same time.
Okay.
I just think I think it's too much to also count on him as your number one receiver, because now he has more opportunities that he could get banged up or whatever, and you don't want to put your number one in those kind of hostile situations. Now your 2 or your 3, you can do that because you can also always fit somebody else in if you need to, but your number one is supposed to be that guy that no matter what, everybody knows we're going to you on this play, and we still throw it, and we still get it, just like Devontae Adams. We know the ball's coming to you. We know this is a fade route, but we still cannot stop it.
Good luck. Yeah.
That's the kind of receivers you got. And I know he's a little bit older now. I can't do everything. But remember when he was playing as your number one, it didn't matter where you threw the ball. It didn't matter what route you called. He was going to get it. He was going to beat the DB. He was going to make the catch. Didn't care if he was getting hit at the same time. Like, those guys do not care. They want the ball, even if they got to get smacked getting the ball.
Well, yeah. And he had a quarterback that, if he's going to be a Hall of Famer, it's going to be because Aaron Rodgers, every time they got into those goal-to-go situations,
Threw the
said,
ball there.
good luck.
Yep.
Like, you're not going to beat my arm and my guy,
Yep.
right? And he did it last night on that little slant route with DK Metcalf again.
Yeah.
Like, they ran it down there, and I'm watching him at the line of scrimmage, and he's yelling like 50 different things. It was like, it's a slant to Metcalf. Like, you could see it coming from a million miles away, but it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Right? The defender's right there. The throw beat him. Right?
He gets the ball out so fast, and he puts it right on the money, and he's got a big receiver. But that's what you want. When you got a big receiver like that, like a Metcalf and even a BTJ, those are the kind of routes you want because you're a big body. Those little DBs have to try to come through you to get the ball, and that's usually impossible for them. But if you drop it, then it makes it easier for them.
I'm not sure if you have Hunter in your top 5 or not, but if you were just going to look at the roster that the Jaguars have right now at the wide receiver position and at the corner position, right? If you were just going to list those guys in whatever order, like the order of how good a player you think they are, at wide receiver and at corner, is Travis Hunter potentially, with the way that he's playing right now, is he any? I don't think he's any lower than 2, probably on either of those lists. Do you think it's realistic to look at where they're at right now as a team and say he's number 1 at both wide receiver and corner?
Well, at wide receiver, more likely, yes. And we got rid of Campbell, so maybe even at DB too. I mean,
it's the Jordan Lewis, whether or not
that's so. Yeah. Now we're getting into my top 5 of guys here. So off of the first 7 games, I wanted to put Travis Hunter down but he seems like he has come on more here recently as opposed to the first 7 games, the whole totality of it. So for me, that made it harder to get him on my list. But right now, today, it does look like it. I think he'd probably be number 2 at DB, from Jordan Lewis, but we all realize that he's better than Jordan Lewis too. It's just we got to see it a whole lot more. We're waiting until
that keeps you from saying he's the number 1 wide receiver. It's like, do we expose him to that much?
Yeah, and he's had his issues. Like, he's had his issues lining up. He's had his issues if he's going in motion the right way, if he's the motion guy, or if it's some. So, early on in the season, I said, let's get him started with the offensive side of things, where maybe he's playing 80% of offense, 20% defense, just because there's a whole lot more to learn offensively. And it is those little things, the lining up correctly, who has the motion, the shifts, all those things. And then now you got to run the route. And also the route might tell you to do something different with the coverage that's in front of you. So there's a whole lot more to learn. And usually when a rookie, when their head is swimming with all this information, they play a lot slower. They do have the drops. They don't make the plays. They don't line up correctly because they've just got so much in their head, which is why I wanted him to kind of focus. And they've kind of been doing that, focusing him more offensively. I think we should get more offensive snaps, especially after seeing what you can get from him last week. Doesn't mean you don't still go back to BTJ. Doesn't mean BTJ is still not your number one. But I think Travis Hunter has shown we got to feed him the ball just as much.
No doubt, Travis Hunter seems to be earning however big a role you want to give him wherever on the football team right now, and they could use him. Corner, wide receiver, yes, would be the answer to what to do with Travis Hunter. We'll see what that looks like coming out of the bye week. We'll get into our top fives as far as the players that we think have played the best for the Jacksonville Jaguars through the first 7 games of the season, as well as we get into the second hour of the program here this morning. Tony Smith, David Garrard, Dylan Denmark here with you. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
Jaguars Today for the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. 2 Super Bowls, 1 Walter Payton Man of the Year award.
I think we got a big one here.
Eric Armstead brings his big resume to Helmets and Heels for big-time football talk. Fridays at 3. Kept healthy by orthopedic specialists of Jacksonville.
Joe C. here. And boy, oh boy, I've got a great deal for you traveling home team fans. If you plan on going to the Titans game up in the Ville, you can stay where I'll be staying in the heart of Nashville, at the Omni Nashville, super close to Broadway Street, as well as Nissan Stadium. They've got a killer rate for 1010 listeners. Just go to our website, 1010XL.com, and click the Omni link. Come hang with me, Joe C. in Nashville the weekend after Thanksgiving. It's the holidays, so let's celebrate with a big game in Nashville and stay at the Omni Nashville.
Jaguars Today Monday is built by Dream Finders Homes.
Official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Professional painters know the right finish starts with the right paint. That's why they trust First Coast Paint. Featuring Benjamin Moore paints and expert customer service, First Coast Paint keeps the pros stocked and rolling. No gimmicks, no big box confusion, just top quality Benjamin Moore paint, advice, and the best service in Jacksonville, period. Because real pros don't cut corners, they color them. First Coast Paint, simply superior paint.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold, silver, and diamonds from the public. Gold has recently hit an all-time high at over $3,600 per ounce. Pay bills, buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold for cash and get top dollar, or trade it in for a new piece and get even more value at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Have you ever dreamed of owning a handcrafted cabin tucked into a 1,000-acre regenerative farm? Well, now you can. This is Frank Frangie for the farm in Okefenokee, just an hour north of Jacksonville in Folkestone. With only 250 cabins at full build-out, it's a rare chance to live off-grid, but not alone, in a community grounded in nature, food, and purpose. The amenities include a 2,300-acre hunting lease. Learn more at okefarm.com. That's okefarm.com.
Home is where your story begins. And at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, we're here to make it the healthiest, most comfortable place it could be. Whether it's fresh, clean air, dependable plumbing, or reliable power, we take care of it all. From routine maintenance to state-of-the-art solutions, Donovan keeps your home running smoothly. Because at Donovan, we believe your home isn't just where you live, it's where your health meets comfort. Call Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing at 904-270-COOL or visit us online. Let's make your home healthier, safer, and better together.
Keeping kids active is a full-time job for parents, so let I-9 Sports help. They've got winter and spring registration open right now for kids all over the First Coast to enjoy their favorite sports. Log on to i9sports.com and don't miss out on the upcoming seasons. Enter 1010 in the promo code.
Game days aren't the only win happening in the 904. Best of Bold City named 904 Gutters with a Z the #1 seamless gutter company in Duval. Like the team's O-line protects their QB. Call the winning team at 904 Gutters with a Z to protect your home from the rain.
This is your local sports update. I'm RJ Saunders for 1010XL. According to a new report on Saturday, the Jacksonville Jaguars are, quote, listening to trade calls for wide receiver Brian Thomas Jr. The Athletics' senior NFL insider Diana Rossini is reporting that the Jaguars are taking calls for the 2024 first-round pick. Quote, even if a move feels highly unlikely, end quote. Rossini also reports that the team is shopping for defense. Right now, 76 degrees at 11:01. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focus, fueled, fearless, Farah. On 1010XL is restored by Resto Pros of Northeast Florida.
Tony Smith, David Garrard, Dylan Tenmark here with you as we get into hour 2 of the program here this morning. Our question of the day today asking, who have been the 5 best players for the Jags through the first 7 weeks of the season? We asked you to list them in order from 1 to 5, if you would, while you were sending them in. We'll get into our list for the first time here in just a moment. Let's get back out to the phone lines first, though, at 641-1010. Cody out in Missouri has dialed us up. What's going on this morning, Cody?
Good morning, guys. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Hey, Dave. How's it going?
It's going good, man. How you doing?
I'm not doing too bad, man. One of my favorite memories of you was, I grew up in Kansas City, and I'll never forget back in 07 when you guys came to Kansas City and put a whooping on the Chiefs. I'll never forget that.
That was payback for the year before.
Yeah. I was there too. That was a cold game in December.
Yep.
So, but anyways, I agree with you guys. I don't think we should trade Brian Thomas. But if we were to trade him, I wouldn't give anything less than a first for him. I just think he's too good of a player to trade away. So what do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I think with them not having a first-round pick next year, it certainly would put the impetus to get a first-round pick at minimum back for him. And in my head, I kind of look at it and say first-round pick and a player, right, would be the way that I would look at it. I'm not sure that anyone would pay that price for Brian Thomas Jr. And from my perspective, I'd be like, okay, on that too. It's like I'm not looking to trade Brian Thomas Jr., but you'd have to make that kind of offer before I'd be willing to trade him, I think, if it was me.
Yeah, I wouldn't be willing to trade him either. But like you said, if you could get something like that, then all right, now it's for real if you were able to get something like that. Because usually when a guy is tradable, unless your team is just really bad and you know you can get some pieces for the future, he's already our future piece. If somebody else is willing to pay that much for him, then what are we missing? Mm-hmm. And we're missing the guy that was catching everything and taking the top off and making tons and tons of plays. So
yeah,
my hope is bye week, he's got it right, and he's going to start moving forward best way possible.
Yeah, I saw someone, I think, that covers the Bills, or it could have just been a fan. Mm-hmm. You never know with any of this kind of stuff, right? But put something out there like they would send their first-round pick next year, Buffalo would, and Keon Coleman, right, for Brian Thomas Jr. And even, like, as I thought through that, I was like,
I know. He doesn't have the same kind of potential as BTJ does.
No, like that. Like there is, I can't let go of the potential. I understand why the conversation is happening. Like Brian has played at a level where, this kind of stuff is going to happen. I also, him mentioning the Kansas City game there in 06.
Yeah.
I know you remember all that happened.
I absolutely do.
Yeah. And so there was I think it was 3 or 4 things had to go right, and they had to beat Kansas City that day, and they would be in the playoffs again. Y'all had made it in 05. You had a chance there in the final week of the regular season in 06. It was one of the rare times that the team invited. I think it was Dempsey and I who were working at different stations at the time on the flight.
Oh.
Right, with everybody traveling to Kansas City. And there was a chance for them to make the playoffs. So we were like, yeah, sure, we'll go. We'll make the road trip out to Kansas City for this. I can remember we got up in the booth, and I looked across the field, and there were a bunch of, some kind of paper on all the seats up in the upper deck on the other side. It was like, I got to know. What it is. So I walked around the whole stadium. It was cold that day. Remember, it snowed.
Oh yeah.
At the end of the game, I didn't bring a jacket or anything. I was told
straight Florida
guy. I just completely unprepared. But I still walked all the way around, and then I get over there, and it was a real disappointment. It was for this seat's available as the season ticket next year. I was like,
Oh.
I was like, this doesn't do
Wasn't anything
for me.
cool.
Walked back across. I can remember getting heckled by Kansas City people because they saw me walking out without
a jacket,
or
or anything.
in the cold, right? And so I remember the heckling. I also remember John Henderson got tossed out of that game. And I couldn't see what exactly happened on the play where he got tossed out, but he got tossed out of that game. And I can remember being in the post-game locker room that day. And John had 2 or 3 reporters that walked up to him as I was kind of walking in. And I was like, all right, let's go see what happened with John, getting thrown out of the game. And so I heard one of the reporters ask them, they were like, John, what happened with you eventually getting ejected from the game? And John looked at him and he goes, didn't say a word. And all 3 of us at the same time were like, thank you, John.
And time to go. Let's go find somebody else. Where's Dave at?
Yeah, I don't think there's ever been a more intimidating presence in a Jaguars locker room than John Henderson. And
I got thrown out of that game too, but it was by my coaching staff.
Yeah,
they were like, "It's time for you to get stand with us on the sideline here."
It got a little out of hand there.
It did.
I remember.
Yeah, it was unfortunate.
With all of that on the line, could have been. Look, there's been one run of teams in Jaguars history that made the playoffs 3 years in a row. Right? That's 96 to 99. They made it all 4 of those years into the playoffs. You were on the only other team that had a chance. You made it in 05. You were on the brink in 06. You made it in 07. Right? That's when y'all went toe-to-toe with the undefeated Patriots in the divisional round that year after the play that almost everyone brings up when they talk. You get the Hail Mary and you get the 4th down, Dave.
Yeah, baby.
You get those.
I'll take it.
Those 2 iconic moments in Jaguars history. But yeah, we discussed we wanted to get into our top 5s a little bit here. We don't have to go through the whole list, but we can start from the bottom here. Thinking it through. Do you think we should start at the top or at the bottom? Where's the more interesting question for you?
My guess is probably the bottom is going to be more interesting.
All right, so let's build up to that.
Okay.
So who do you have in number 1 on your list for the Jags at this point in the season?
I have Devin Lloyd at number 1 because he has just been everything. He had the game he went out on, which was the Seattle game.
Yep.
You could just tell, it just never quite felt. That was the start of us not feeling like ourselves as a Jaguar team. So his presence has definitely been missed. And who knows what he would have been able to done. Who knows if he would have done anything. He might not have had any turnovers in these last couple of games.
Right.
But you just don't know. He was getting so many opportunities when he was playing in the first few weeks that you got to believe he would have at least made everybody just feel that much better that he was out there. So I've got him at my number 1.
Yeah, it's a real bummer that he's had to miss the last game and a half, basically, with the way that he started the year. I don't think there's another player on the roster that has a chance this year to be an All-Pro, right? I don't think there's anywhere else on the roster where they have that kind of thing. Maybe Parker Washington as a return man, maybe, but I think he'd have to have another touchdown.
Yeah.
Right, before he gets into. Not that he doesn't deserve some of that consideration now, but you got to have 3 or 4, to get that kind of recognition from everybody. So he's kind of on the borderline of it. But I think a week and a half ago, Devin Lloyd was a first-team All-Pro.
Yeah.
Right, in the National Football League at his position. And after a week and a half where he's not playing, that puts all that kind of stuff in jeopardy for him. Not that the accolades are what matter.
Yeah.
With any of this kind of stuff, but I'm with you. He'd have to be number 1 on my list, even if it's just by that kind of metric where I don't see anyone else who's in that kind of consideration.
Yeah, and also the defense just hasn't been the same. I think that's been the biggest thing is defensively, they just don't have the same fire. They don't have the same want to or whatever it is. It just hasn't been the same. So if you can get your spark plug back out on the field and run around making plays, that helps. It helps a lot.
So we both have Devin Lloyd at number 1
on our
list this morning. We'll see what we got 2 through 5 as it gets more and more difficult to figure out as you go through the list here. But it's still I didn't have all that much trouble getting to the 5.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that I'll have the 5 that everyone else has, and that's kind of the fun of doing these kind of lists. We'll get through that as we continue through the second hour of the program this morning. We'll also take a look around the rest of the National Football League, including a rookie up there in New York that we've seen the last of them, at least for 2025. It was an ugly injury.
It was.
And an ugly injury for Cam Scatterbo.
Man.
Yesterday up there. It was crazy. Did you see at the end of that play, like he was asking a teammate to help him up? And it was almost like the teammate was like, no, look at the foot.
Yeah, well, you know what? I don't like watching those kind of plays. So, like, as soon as they start happening, I turn my eyes quickly. But I'm scrolling through Instagram, and, of course, everybody's going to put it on there. So I was like, all right, well, let me just see how things started. And he's sitting on the ground like, help me up. Yeah. Like, let's go, baby. Like, he's still, like, animated. I'm like, dude, I can tell your foot is not – I don't even see it. It's somewhere behind you or something. Yeah,
you can see it was just kind of hanging there dangling.
No.
And his teammate was like, no.
No. But adrenaline is a crazy thing, man.
Oh, there is no doubt. I love it.
That dude is just – he runs through walls like at home.
Yeah.
He doesn't have doorways. He
Hopefully
just goes through the wall.
Same guy coming back. He apparently had the surgery last night to repair the dislocated ankle, but hopefully he comes back as strong, at least, because he's fun to watch play. When he's been out there to this point in his rookie season. We'll get into some of the other news from across the league as well. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL.
Learn everything you need to know about the Jaguars on Duval Rundown. I'm Hayes Carlyon. Join me each Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning at 9:04. You can find Duval Rundown on all the social channels of 1010XL.
Driven by Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Westside.
When it comes to glass, you don't want average. You want flawless. Duval Glass and Mirror has transformed homes and businesses across Jacksonville for over 35 years. Frameless showers that wow. Mirrors cut exactly to your style. Fogged or broken glass replaced. Decorative tabletops, windows replaced or repaired to stand up to Florida storms. All backed by a 100% guarantee. Visit DuvalGlass.com for your free quote. There's only one name for glass and mirror around these parts. It's Duval!
Dream Finders Homes Monday on Jaguars Today.
Northeast Florida Auto, Power Sports, and RV dealers. Tom McMahon is here for Dealer Connect. The nation's #1 AI conference for dealers is coming to Jacksonville October 29th and 30th at the Marriott Sawgrass in Ponte Vedra Beach. It's 2 days of tackling the future of AI in automotive with some of the industry's biggest names. Keynote speaker, Hall of Famer Joe Theismann will autograph items to benefit the Tom Coughlin J Fund. Get tickets now at DealerConnect2025.com. That's DealerConnect2025.com.
We're certainly facing interesting economic times. For me, it's comforting to know my money's in good hands with ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. Experience? Yeah, that's Chris Bryant, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, Scott Regner, Janice Cobb, and Reed Wingate. They have the expertise and knowledge to take care of your money. For more info, go to ITPPartners.com. ITP Partners, they're my financial partners for life.
Non-compensated client testimonial may not be representative of all client experiences. No guarantee of future performance or success.
Get closer to nature.
Trying to get close to these bucks out here.
Jeff Lageman, Captain Kevin Faber, and Captain Kirk Walls. The Nimnicht Outdoor Show. Presented by Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. Saturday morning, 7 to 10 on 1010XL.
Cool air and clean air. Getting out from under that Florida sun and cooling off inside is where Florida Home AC shines. Think about it. You spend a lot of time indoors, and air quality is crucial to your health and comfort. Pollutants like dust, pollen, germs, and allergens can build up, affecting your well-being. Florida Home is dedicated to enhancing your indoor experience with superior air quality solutions like whole home air purification systems. Find out by logging on to FloridaHomeAC.com or call 777-4300.
The best value for golf in Jacksonville remains Cimarron. Totally reestablished with new tee boxes, improved fairways and greens, also a brand new restaurant with indoor and outdoor settings, and live music. Join the Wild One loyalty program online at Cimarron Golf. When's the last time you played Cimarron? Cimarron Golf Club on 210, the Wild One.
Strap in, Duval. The Jaguars are gearing up to face the Los Angeles Chargers Sunday, November 16th for our annual Salute to Service game. Join us as we honor and celebrate the brave men and women of our military all game long. Secure your seats now and be a part of the action by visiting jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. Let's stand together, Duval.
Start your week off with today's restaurant of the day, Flame Broiler. Try their new chicken avocado salad bowl at $10.99. Fuel your day with Flame Broiler's protein-packed bowls served at 5 locations, including the newest at 103rd Street.
This is Lieutenant Colonel Alan West. I'm honored to join Operation New Uniform as the guest speaker for their 70th graduation. This milestone event is more than a ceremony. It's a testament to faith, perseverance, and purpose. Operation New Uniform helps service members and veterans find purpose, confidence, and success after service. Join us as we honor these remarkable graduates and the mission that empowers heroes to find their next calling. Register today at onuvets.org. That's onuvets.org.
Why wait for a reason to send flowers? Celebrate life's little wins, or just celebrate you. Stop into the showroom on Beach and Southside, or online at JacksonvilleFlowerMarket.com. Jacksonville Flower Market. We make every day bloom.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. David Garrard Monday on 1010XL is restored by Resto Pros of Northeast Florida.
Well, just in case this is Dylan trying to take a guess, I told you the last one was my favorite Eagles track. This is not my favorite Beatles song.
Okay.
But I do like it. As I do most Beatles music. Tony Smith, David Garrard, Dylan Denmark here with you on Jaguars Today this morning. Want to get to Around the League here in just a moment. Before we do, though, let's get back out to the phone line, 641-1010. Regina has dialed us up. What's going on this morning, Regina?
Hey, good morning, guys. And I've been listening all along. I think I'm agreeing with David Garrard. Still not time to get rid of BTJ because the Jaguar organization has a history of letting go of good players that sign elsewhere. So my perspective is the coaching. We're going through first-year coaches, and they just don't know how to handle this because it was a total team collapse. The other thing is I wanted to give a shout-out to the Jaguars organization and to DG, the vision screening that they had. And you have a presence on TV, DG. So I'd like to hear your comments about how you think the coaching staff can't handle this. I'd like to say go Jags, but I don't think there's going to be much changing that they're going to win. I'm scared that this is like teams of old collapse. Have a good rest of your day, guys. Bye.
All right, they've broken Regina.
Yeah.
I don't like that at all.
I don't like it either.
Thank
you, Regina.
Don't have to be. Yeah, thank you for the call. Look, I think the video that came out with Liam Cohen last week that made it all over social media, and we talked a little bit about it on Friday here on the show, right? But that video, to me, and I wasn't a player in an NFL locker room, right? So I'm curious to hear how you reacted to it when you saw it, David. But that video, to me, tells me a lot about where the organization could go, right? Like if the head coach is willing to stand up in front of the room of the entire team and say, I let you down in this moment on this 4th down. And then a rookie stands up and says, actually, coach, I screwed up. And he says, I appreciate you saying that. It's on me, right? To have that kind of accountability from the top, again, from an outsider perspective, I don't know how that does anything but trickle down to the entire, team in that room. If the coach is willing to take that kind of thing on himself in that kind of moment, then it encourages accountability from everyone. And we're talking about how do we get Brian Thomas Jr. back? He's got to hold himself accountable for what's happening with him right now. The team can't do anything beyond, I think, what they've done. Like, the only other thing they can do is, like Jimmy said, bench him. And I don't think they're anywhere close to that kind of step with Brian Thomas Jr. But I do think the accountability you're seeing from the top in the organization is an infectious thing for a football team.
Yeah, and I love it. I love it because I got to be in those meetings and be a part of meetings like that. And to see a head coach get in there, take ownership, and then also air it so the world could see it, but then have a rookie stand up and say, no, coach, because normally you're in this team setting, and if you're not one of the guys, you normally keep yourself quiet and you stay wherever you are.
Mm-hmm.
But for somebody to stand up like that and say, actually, coach, that's my fault. I messed that up. It's not on you. But coach is like, no, I am making a point here. Thank you, young man, for standing up.
Mm-hmm.
We all can see that it probably was your fault, but I put you in that situation, So that's where he's trying to say, no, I'm going to take ownership here. Those are galvanizing moments for teams and things that we normally don't get to see and wonder why, oh, wow, the team is, off to a much better start now, and they've won their last 2 games and those kind of things. So those are great for the fans to be able to see something like that, see those moments, because that can also galvanize your fan base too, to say, yeah, things haven't been what we've wanted them the last few weeks, but we still believe. I'm going to make sure that I'm there this Sunday. I'm going to make sure that I'm there for the next home, whatever it is. We need those things because it's been rough for us around here the last 10 years.
Yeah.
We need everything to be able to grasp onto. And if BTJ comes out and catches his first 5 balls that are thrown to him, then we're going to feel great about that too, even if he does have a drop. We're all human. We make mistakes. But we got to be able to rise up from our mistakes, from those moments that we weren't looking our best, and be able to say, but I'm back and I'm here now.
Want to get to a few more names on the top 5 list here in just a moment, but before we do that, let's take a look from around the rest of the National Football League.
Now, gems around the NFL, brought to you by Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jax Beach.
As I mentioned a moment ago, New York Giants running back Cam Scadaboo suffered a dislocated ankle yesterday. He had surgery for the injury last night up there in Philadelphia. Philadelphia running back Saquon Barkley left their win over the Giants with a groin injury yesterday. He was unable to return to the game, but the team said afterwards that it isn't anything of concern for him going forward. He said he's dealt with this kind of thing before, so apparently nothing new for Saquon there. Buffalo defensive end Ed Oliver will undergo further testing for a biceps injury that he suffered yesterday. Today, he is expected to have to miss some time, but there's no solid timetable on that yet for him. Denver cornerback Patrick Surtain left their game with a shoulder injury. He was unable to return. The Las Vegas Raiders are expected to be signing wide receiver Tyler Lockett, who the Titans released last week. ESPN's Jeremy Fowler reported over the weekend that the Pittsburgh Steelers are interested in bringing Aaron Rodgers back for another season. We'll see how interested Aaron is coming back as well. And Nick Mangold, a 7-time Pro Bowler, 2-time first-team All-Pro center during his 11-year career with the New York Jets, passed away this weekend at the age of 41 due to complications with a kidney disease that he made public a couple of weeks ago. So very sad news.
Very sad. Very sad.
Did you ever have the chance to meet Nick?
Yeah, I was with the Jets for a season, and we actually competed in a celebrity cook-off for Rachel Ray. It was like the first year she did her little Super Bowl cook-off, bring in, your best appetizers. And so mine was chicken buffalo dip.
Nice.
And he did like 100 recipe ingredients for chili. And that made it a little tough.
Yeah.
It did not win because it made it a little tough if you're doing appetizers for your, and they're like, you got 50 things you got to put in your chili there, bud. That's a little much for an appetizer.
Yeah. Leave it to a center to complicate things.
Yeah, but it was delicious. His chili was delicious, though.
There you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, Nick Mangold, I haven't heard a negative word about him ever.
Great guy.
Yeah, met him a couple times, like Radio Row, like that kind of thing. He always struck me as a terrific guy.
Yeah, he really was.
Yeah, so super sad to hear about his passing this weekend. Best to his family as they deal with that, with Dad being gone.
I know it.
That's hard.
Terrible.
It's always hard. Let's get back into our top 5. We both had Devin Lloyd at number 1. Who do you have at number 2?
Number 2, he's been gone for a while, but not forgotten, Britton Strange. He is probably our best weapon offensively in the pass and in the run. I believe we have lost a lot of ability with our offense with him out. You know, he's a good galvanizing piece. He's a good glue guy that just makes plays. Defenses will tend to forget about him, and so it gives Trevor a good out. And then when he gets the ball, he runs angry with it, you know, and he does the same thing when he's blocking. So if we could get him back, when we get him back, you know, we'll start seeing our offense operate. We need to see them operate, you know, even with him gone, but he's definitely a guy that has been in the top 5 as far as best players on the team.
I have him in my 5. I have him a little bit lower on the list, but he is a player that he carries the banner.
Yeah.
Right? You played on a bunch of teams here that they declared who they were going to be. Right? Like Del Rio would declare it. What are we going to be?
Yep.
We're physical.
Yep.
Right? We're going to be physical on defense. We're going to run the ball. Like these are the things that we're going to be in Jacksonville. And y'all never just said it. You did it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like opponents would come into Jacksonville. It's a bloody nose game.
Yep.
Right? Like that's the way y'all wanted to play.
Bring your lunch pail.
Right? Like today's a fist fight.
Yep.
You may not have a fist fight every week, but this week you're going to have a fist fight. That's the attitude that y'all carried. It was stated and then it was done. Right? And we've seen the Jaguars here in 2025 have declared some of the things that they want to be. Right? We've heard Coach Cohen talk about we want to run the offense through Brian Thomas Jr. That's one of the things that he said in the offseason. Well, that's hard to do with the way that Brian is playing right now. So you have to make an adjustment on that. We want to be a team that is physical running the football. Well, it looked like they were for about a month, but they haven't been that so much here in the last 3 weeks. It felt like they were a force a turnover team. Right? That's the Devin Lloyd thing. It felt like that was kind of their defensive identity for the first month of the season, but not so much the last couple of weeks either. They've got 1 turnover in the last 3 games now. It was a big one. Again, it's that pick 6 against Patrick Mahomes. It's a big moment in the season for the football team, but they haven't been that team that's getting turnovers in bunches for the last couple of weeks. And we've had all the discussions about what the identity of the football team is. Right? And it's kind of up in the air right now. They've declared a bunch of different things. How do they find a path back to the identity that they want to create for themselves now 7 games into this season?
Well, I would think you are going to reset your season and kind of start from this bye week and try to get back to what you originally had started off as. This is going to be us. This is who we're going to be. So I still think you want to continue with BTJ as we're going to attack, run through him, but also we've got to get our run game going. That's just going to make it easier for the pass game if we're able to run the ball. And like you said, our offensive line was playing lights out the first month and giving our running backs ample opportunity. So we've got to get back to that. We've got to get back to the BTJ that we know can make plays from last year. He hadn't quite done it the whole time this year, but we've got to get back to those things. So hopefully that was the message. We know who we are, or at least we think we know who we are. Let's get back to that. And if we have to midstream adjust again, it's okay. We still have a lot of football left to be able to do that.
You got Devin Lloyd at 5, Britton Strange at 4 on your list. We'll get 3 and 2 in the next segment as we continue along. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
Jaguars Today for the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios.
Launch the downloads.
Join the 1010XL Podcast Network.
And initiate sequence.
Now you can find all your favorite 1010XL podcasts in your platform of choice.
Pickett here. You know me. I'm a protect the skin kind of guy. That said, it's getting a little cooler and the long sleeves are making their way out. This is absolutely the best time of year to go see my guys, the docs at Beaches Dermatology. Don't wait any longer. It's time. Protect that skin, folks. You know what else it's almost time for? The holidays coming sooner than we think. Skincare products make great presents for the wife or girlfriend. Knock out a consult and buy your wife a present. Boom! Give them a call today. Online at peachesdermatology.com.
Jaguars Today.
You're settled into a Dream Finders Homes Monday.
Join 1010XL and Firehouse Subs as we celebrate First Responders Day, Tuesday, October 28th. Catch Jaguars Today live from 10 to noon at Beach and Hodges. Food, fun, and football. Come honor our heroes with Firehouse Subs.
Chelsea here. Ready to upgrade your windows or patio doors? During our fall savings month, get 20% off your replacement windows and patio doors. Plus, enjoy 0 down, 0 payments, or 0 interest for 12 months. Our Acclaim Impact windows are built for Florida homes, designed to help you save on energy bills by maintaining indoor temperatures year-round. Offer ends October 31st. Restrictions apply. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free in-home consultation. License number CGC 1527613. Renewal by Anderson, where comfort meets savings.
If you're tired of weekend projects turning into weekend disasters, you're not alone. Building a fence isn't as easy as it looks. And let's face it, your neighbor still hasn't fixed his lopsided masterpiece. But Superior Fence and Rail makes it easy. Highly trained professionals, top quality materials, and a fence you'll love for years to come. Skip the stress and call the pros today.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
At Cannons of Jacksonville, they know that when you're towing anything, you gotta have products you can rely on. With over 50 years of fabrication expertise, the family at Cannons can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Whether it's a heavy-duty hitch, trailer frame, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons will provide you with unmatched precision and durability. For all your towing needs, visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
Hey, Jacksonville DDH. Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here with the scoop from Dreamfinders Homes, your National Builder of the Year. We've got first-year interest rates as low as 2.99% and homes in 20-plus communities throughout Northeast Florida. If you're house hunting, make sure your first pick Dreamfinders Homes, the proud official home builder of the PGA Tour, the Florida Gators, and your Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit dfhsalesevent.com today and tell them Dreamfinders Danny sent you.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville, and when the weather starts to shift a little bit, especially during the fall, you've got some really cool stuff from Honda Off-Road.
We do. It's the favorite time of the year for me. Nice little chill in the air. We've got some side-by-sides. We've got the ATVs. Of course, they're legendary dirt bikes. We've got it all.
And for the hunter?
Oh, we've got side-by-sides that work and play.
All right, so make sure you check it out. Showroom wide open for you on Atlantic near Regency. If you want to go off-road and have some fun, check out Cycles of Jacksonville.
San Jose Collision is hiring for an automotive detailer and porter. If you're detail-oriented, dependable, and love working with cars, apply in person at San Jose Collision in Mandarin. Valid driver's license required.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
David Garrard joining us to try to talk through whatever the heck is going on with Brian Thomas Jr., right, at this point in time. I think we both landed on, I mean, I wouldn't be looking to trade him, but I can understand listening, at this point, if the right kind of offer were to come along for Brian Thomas Jr. What you're getting from him so far this year keeps options open, but I don't think either of us would be shopping him, right?
No.
Right, like actively. We'll see what it's going to look like the back half of this season coming out of the bye week. We've done 5 and 4 on the list of the top 5 players on the roster so far this year for the Jaguars. You had Devin Lloyd at 5. You had Brenton Strange at 4. Who do you have at 3?
I have Jordan Lewis
at
number 3. Yeah,
that's who I had at 1 or 2.
Okay, yeah. So Jordan Lewis says the first month you could just see him everywhere, blitzing, covering guys, making plays, getting turnovers. I mean, he was just real consistent, and I don't know if he's just like everybody else has kind of tailed off a little bit, but last few games you've seen him getting beat for touchdowns. You've seen him not making the play here or there, but still, I still think he is one of the most consistent guys on defense at the time.
Yeah, I think you mentioned Brenton Strange. I think he's more of a banner carrier, right, for that side of the ball. Like, if you were going to carve out a player who is the walking identity of the Jaguars,
Yes.
I think it is Brenton Strange in the way that he plays.
Yep.
Right? Like, I think that's what they want their team to be. It's why they were willing to move off of Evan Ingram and put Brenton Strange in a future role as their tight end in the offense. Or the physicality of him in the game, right? It's different when he's there and when he's not. You feel the absence of it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, no one else can match that energy. I think from a yap, talk perspective, they don't have anybody else on the team like Jordan Lewis.
No.
Right?
No.
Like, he carries himself that way. That was why Dallas was bummed when he left, was that kind of thing. And it turned out he's a way better player than he is just a talker, right? So they're getting kind of the best of both worlds. You know, with that kind of thing, like I said, I had him at 2 on my list. I had Devin Lloyd at 1, Jordan Lewis at 2. Again, I got Brenton Strange a little bit lower on the list. I'll get to his name here in just a moment. Who did you have at number 4?
At number 4, Travis Etienne.
Okay.
And I have him there because they came out the gates and they were rolling. And I don't think the last few weeks is more on him than it is just the offensive line not getting any holes open. Them not being able to find more of a way to make him more featured in the offense. You know, whether it is the screen game, check downs, running the ball more, they tend to get away from it. You know, of course, when they start to get behind, and a lot of that is just the team in general, our offense not always clicking to start the games. But I think he is a player that if we have the ability to get holes for him, he's a game changer. But if he's just running into the back of his offensive line, he's going to be nothing, just like any running back would be.
Yeah, I want to get to your number 5. We'll feature that in the next segment, though.
Okay.
So for me, I had Devin Lloyd at 1, Jordan Lewis at 2. I have Josh Hines-Allen at 3, right? And I don't deny the sack number is a disappointing number, right, for Josh Hines-Allen. But I am, and for those who want to make the argument that I'm too committed to the number, but I'm committed to the number. Like, I do think the quarterback hits number generally gives you an idea of how effective you've been, that you're affecting the other quarterback. And I'm a big buyer into your sacks are generally going to be about half your quarterback hits, right? So when you see a player that has 7 sacks on 8 quarterback hits, I kind of go, right? Like, that's kind of my response to that kind of thing. It's like, he's not really affecting it as much as the sack number tells you that he is, right? And I look at a guy like Josh Hines-Allen this year who has the half sack, but I think it's at 13 quarterback hits now.
That's pretty good.
Right, and we all felt it.
Yeah.
You know, the first month of the season, you felt it. It's been the last couple of weeks, and I think it speaks to he needs the running partner on the other side, and when Trayvon's playing with one hand, they don't have anybody else.
Yeah.
Right, like nobody else on the defensive line is helping anybody. Now, I do think also it speaks to, as you said when you came in this morning with me, the options, right? Like when you're getting a little bit deeper on this list, I don't know how to feel about a bunch of the options that they have. So it does feel like this is my reaction to a player that I think has played all right this year, but we're already at a point on the list where it's like, I think he's played all right.
That's the problem. Right. So that was my issue, because I'm like, okay, can I throw Josh Hines-Allen on the list?
Which is crazy because they're 4 and 3. They're not bad.
Yeah, but the problem with him is I love pressures. You know, I talk about pressures all the time and not getting that you always need to get sacks. But you got to get some sacks.
Yeah.
And you got to get some sacks because I can tell you, as a quarterback that got sacked a bunch, you think about it. You think about it. But you think when you're just getting a little bit of pressure, but you're getting the ball out of your hands, you think, okay, they're getting some pressure, but I'm still able to get the ball out. So if I could just keep working that way, I can make some plays. But if I'm on my back constantly with the ball in my hand, or they're pressuring me where I've got to run out of the pocket and I've got to try to make a play on the sideline, but there's nobody there and I don't throw it away and I just run out of bounds, thinking I can gain 1 yard, but they're like, no, you ran out of bounds, at the line of scrimmage. That's a sack.
Mm-hmm.
You think about it. You think about it as a quarterback, and you think about it as an offensive line. So nobody thinks, oh, the quarterback almost got hit. They don't think that.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, okay, that was close. So there's a little bit of pressure there, but it wasn't a sack.
Yeah.
So those things matter. And I'm just saying, at some point when you have that many pressures, you got to get more sacks. You got to get the quarterback on the ground more, would be my only pushback to just having a bunch of pressures.
Yeah.
Because sacks stand out to everybody. Doesn't always mean you're going to win. Myles Garrett just had 5 in the game, and they still lost. You saw how pissed he was.
Well, yeah. He was, I think it's the 20th 5-sack game in NFL history. It's the first time that a player with 5 sacks in a game has lost the game that they were playing by more than 3.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Right? And so that's kind of the frustration I think you were seeing from Myles Garrett, because he was balling like crazy. And I think it does. The Hines Allen one is interesting to me, but I've been on this very lonely island, with Hines Allen for a number of years. Like, I thought it the second year when I was watching him play, and I was like, he's affecting the quarterback, but the sacks weren't there. I think he had 2.5 on 11 hits that year, like that kind of thing. Last year, he wound up with the 8 or 8.5 sacks, but he had like 20 quarterback hits. And I was like, well, I felt it. Like, when I was watching the games, I was watching him affect the opposing quarterback. I think what you're seeing right now with, especially the last couple weeks with Trayvon, not being on the other side of it
hurts him,
right? So you're at a point, especially in that Rams game. I was watching Josh 3 or 4 times in that game. He got around the edge, and all Stafford had to do was take 1 step forward, right? And there's
nobody
nothing,
there. Yeah,
right. There's nothing in the pocket, and I get that Armstead is having a better year than he had last year, right? As a Jaguar, and he's got the one big moment, obviously against San Francisco, not taking that away from him, right? Like that kind of thing. But I don't feel him.
No.
When I'm watching a game, I don't feel anybody but Josh. You would feel Trayvon and you would feel Josh, and then you would watch quarterbacks when both those guys would loop around, take 1 step forward, and it's like, well, that's that.
And I guess I'm going off of Hines Allen's history here, too. He should have more sacks. He should have more things happening at this time other than just, I'm pressuring you.
I won't fight you on it.
That's the only thing, because, gosh, you're so talented, and we've paid you, and we should be getting those pressures. That's something that we should be getting. It's getting that quarterback to the ground is what we're expecting you to do more of.
No doubt. Let's get to the finale on our top 5 list for you, David, as we'll put a bow on this edition of Jaguars Today. You are listening to Jaguars Today on 1010 XL.
Jaguars Today.
For the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios at 1010XL.
Hey, this is Lauren Brooks. With over 1,700 5-star Google reviews, it was a no-brainer to have Closets by Design help us get organized at home. They create custom storage for every space, lifestyle, and budget. From closets to garages to laundry rooms and more. Closets by Design will transform clutter into seamless organization. Call today to schedule a free in-home consultation and get 40% off plus an extra 15% off with free installation, but only until October 31st. 18-month financing is available. Call 904-878-9393 or visit closetsbydesign.com.
Dream Finders Homes Monday.
Jaguars Today.
Hayes Carline here. If you're shopping for a new ride, you've got to check out Atlantic Infinity. Not only do you get a luxury vehicle, you also get the Atlantic Infinity Promise Free with every new car. That's almost $2,500 in added value just for buying smarter, and you don't have to sweat it out on the lot. Shop in their indoor, climate-controlled showrooms. It's cool, comfortable, hassle-free. They're on Atlantic near St. John's Bluff, or browse anytime at atlanticinfinity.com.
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
Frank Frangie for Lee and Kate's Glass, still family owned and in business for 100 years. When they say you're going to see a big difference, that's for everything. Custom showers and spas, tabletops, mirrors, even replacing foggy windows, all at a more affordable price. And with your satisfaction absolutely guaranteed, Lee and Kate's Glass is your best choice. Visit leeandkatesglass.com.
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
If you are an experienced electrician looking for your next big opportunity, look no further than the Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller Electric, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering you the chance to showcase your skills on a grand scale. We believe in rewarding hard work with the best pay, top-notch benefits, and an unbeatable culture where people actually care about each other. Take your career to new heights with Miller Electric Company. Apply today at millercareers.com. Miller Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
Hey, Jacksonville Hicken here. I've been around the block or two, and Checkmate Coatings is who I'd call for my own place. They're my new MVP for stunning, long-lasting floors.
Brendan here with Checkmate Coatings. No massive overhead means top prices on top-quality pool decks, driveways, garages, and patios, too.
Visit CheckmateCoatings.com today. Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
What's happening, folks? It's your main man, E.T., of course. And whether you're biking through shaded forest trails, casting a line from Camp Chow Pier, or enjoying music by the St. Johns River, Clay County is full of ways to play. This month, experience off-road trails at the 2025 Crawling for the Fallen. Savor bold flavors and classic rides at Moose Haven's 15th annual Chili Cook-Off and Car Show, and celebrate the fall season at fall festivals all across the county. Find a full lineup at ExploreClay.com. Come on, somebody.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family-owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Don't ghost your carpet this fall. Hicken here. Right now, you can get your entire home zero resified from Jacksonville's Ultimate Carpet Cleaner and get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $139 plus a free haul for Halloween. Get it? There's something scarier than ghosts and goblins hiding in your home. It's in your air ducts. This month, take 50% off your air duct and dryer vent cleaning. Schedule your appointment at ZeroResJacksonville.com. Ask for the 1010XL special. Zero Res, spell it backwards and forwards. It spells the same. Zero Res.
Zero Res.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. David Garrard Monday on 1010XL is restored by Resto Pros of Northeast Florida.
All right. Our Chad and Sandy real estate question of the day today, asking you what players have been the 5 best players for the Jaguars on the roster to this point. 7 games into the season, coming out of the bye week. Still 10 games to go for this football team. A lot of it's still out there. Regina, I hope you're still listening. I know you are. You don't have to. There'll be plenty of people jumping onto the woe is me bandwagon. If they lose this week, you'll have to make space.
You have to make space for sure.
For the number of people that'll join it. It's like, hold on to hope while you still got it. They're 4-3. They got a matchup that they ought to be able to take advantage of this week against the Las Vegas Raiders. It's still all out in front of them, right, in the AFC. So you don't have to let it go yet. Like, hold on to the rope for now. You'll know when it's time to let go of the rope. And I say that not just for Regina, but for any fans out there that are kind of feeling that way after the way the last 2 weeks have gone. We've gotten 1 through 4 on the list from you this morning. I'll get number 5 from you in just a moment, Mr. Garrard, but we'll do that as part of a 10-10 take.
10-10 take. Now, Mike Dempsey's 10-10 take.
Brightened by First Coast Paint. Simply superior paint.
So, 1 through 4. List them off for us one more time and then let us know who you had at number 5 on your list.
All right. So, number 1 was Devin Lloyd. Number 2 was Britton Strange. Number 3, Jordan Lewis. Number 4, Travis Etienne. And my number 5 player, top 5 players with the Jaguars, Parker Washington.
Okay.
So I got Parker Washington as the receiver and special teams guy that he is.
Sure.
He's probably had the fewest drops, but has had some drops and had a game, the main game, where everybody was dropping the ball. He decided he wanted to drop the ball too.
He's had kind of 2 drop-ish weeks.
Yeah. So but he still is a guy that I always want to get the ball into his hands because he's a return guy. So he can make tons of guys miss, and he is that shifty. But then you also see it in his returns because he's had one for a touchdown. He's had another one, but called back.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to have plenty of opportunities to do that this year. But for the start of the season, Parker Washington has really stood out and made a name for himself.
For me, I went Devin Lloyd, Jordan Lewis, Josh Hines Allen, Brenton Strange. Number 5 for me is Travis Hunter. And, you talking about Parker Washington as a return man, I think I would love to see Hunter as a return
I would too.
guy if he didn't have 8,000 other things going on.
Exactly.
Right? Like, we are almost to a point where it's like, well, why doesn't he just have the ball every play?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
offense, defense,
Seriously.
special teams. Why not? He's probably our best option at all of these things.
Let's
already.
really check out his endurance. I mean, let's get him everything.
Hey, man. Until he tells me
Let's
he
put
needs
him
a
at
break,
let's put him at
until
Wildcat.
he taps the helmet.
Have they thought Wildcat yet? Oh my gosh, there's endless opportunities here.
I'm not objecting to anything
Yeah.
when it comes to Travis Hunter with what him in space.
Yeah.
Can we just do
It's
that 2 or
over.
3 times
Yep.
a game?
Please.
On
Please.
offense. And if it has to be on a kick return, I'm good with it. If he can handle it. It's not like guys are getting the run and start to go hit him. It's just a scrimmage play now. Can we just let him run in some space?
I'd like to see it.
I'd be all for it as we say hello to the boys of XL Primetime.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Joe C., what's going on this morning?
Are y'all going to put Travis in the Wildcat? Is that what's happening?
I like it.
Yeah.
I'm going to say if they do it, I'm just going to go, oh, this is interesting.
Yeah. He might get broken in half, though. Because I think most of the running backs, like Quinshawn Judkins was a guy that up at Cleveland.
I'm not sending him up the middle, just to let you know that. He's not going up the middle.
Right. Avoid that at all costs.
Yeah.
Who, our question of the day today, Joe, who have been the best 5 players for the Jags through the first 7 weeks of the season? Who would you have maybe,
man.
in that top 2 or 3?
It changed a little bit over the last couple of weeks
Yes, it
because
has.
Jordan Lewis was as big a baller as there was on this football team. Then he took a couple steps back, some bad PI penalties. Of course, anybody trying to defend Devontae Adams in that little area around in the end zone is tough. But I would have put him up there. I would have put Robert Hainsey up there before the injury, and now all of a sudden they can't block. I would have put Josh Hines Allen up there early. Now he hasn't gotten to the quarterback the way that you would have liked to have seen. Devin Lloyd, you definitely have to put. I would put Jordan Lewis, Devin Lloyd, and I probably would put Hainsey up there.
Okay.
Look, there are so many guys on this football team that need to keep playing that one level up. And you guys have been talking about it a bunch because they need to be challenged. We'll see what happens in the bye week, what all of them are willing to do to push buttons to see if you can get more out of them.
Yeah, the stunner is that none of us are even considering Brian Thomas Jr.
No.
Nor should
No.
we, right, with what we've seen from him through this first 7 games. But
which is sad.
It is whatever it is. I'm sure y'all will react to the news over the weekend with
Dude,
at least
I saw
that talks about it.
I saw so many spectacular catches over the weekend, and all you can do is just say, why? Why can't you get that from these guys? We'll definitely be doing that, and then of course we're not firing any head coaches because they've already been fired in the SEC. So we'll be talking about.
Yeah,
Brian
I was
Kelly.
telling David, I'm very happy that Vanderbilt can be number 9 in the country. Like I'm having a ball. I don't know what to do with any of it, but I am happy that at least the tradition that if your team is any good in the SEC and you lose to Vanderbilt, you fire the coach. I'm glad that tradition at least lives on.
It's unbelievable what you guys are. This ain't your daddy's SEC. I've been saying it for a while. Vandy's in the top 10, and LSU and Florida are running coaches left and right.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, we'll be listening.
All right,
Joe.
fellas, thank you.
So, Dave, we'll be back in a week. Hopefully,
Yep.
You'll have to keep track of your Victory Monday shirt. I think it's what the expectation
I
many
still
of us
have it. I still have it.
All right.
It hasn't been sent anywhere else yet.
Hopefully in 7 days we're celebrating the 5-3
We better.
Jaguars.
We better.
And enjoy the Halloween festivities, whatever you're doing.
It's also senior night for my son this week, and he just got an offer from ECU, so
there you go. That's
we're
awesome.
jacked about that.
No doubt. All right, so we'll do it again here in a week. That'll do it for us on the program here.
Appreciate it, Tom.
This morning. Appreciate you, DG9. So for Dylan Denmark, for David Garrard, For an on-assignment Mike Dempsey, I'm Tony Smith. XL Primetime is coming up next. You're listening to 1010 XL.
Jaguars
Today.